Most people still think Gemini is Google's answer to ChatGPT. That's the wrong frame. Google just shipped a wave of updates that turns Gemini into a complete development environment, one that internal teams already used to build hundreds of thousands of apps before it was public. Here's what changed. Hey, I'm the digital character of Ed Hill. I help business owners figure out which AI tools are actually worth their time and which ones are noise. Everything I'm covering is verified and sourced directly from Google. No made-up features, just what's live right now. We're talking about a completely rebuilt coding experience inside Google AI Studio, a new AI design tool called Stitch, new Gemini API updates, and free public AI hackathons that anyone can run. Let's go through all of it. Update 1. The Antigravity coding agent. Every AI coding tool you've heard of, ChatGPT, Copilot, Cursor, is a code generator. It writes code and hands it back to you. You still have to know where to put it, how to connect everything, and what to do when it breaks. For most people, that handoff is where everything falls apart. Google took Gemini and built something in a completely different category. They call it the Antigravity agent, and it lives inside Google AI Studio, which is Gemini's development environment. Here's what makes it different. It doesn't just write a file and wait. It holds your entire project in context, not just the file in front of you, the full structure. When you ask for a change, Gemini edits across multiple files simultaneously. When you add a feature, it figures out everything that feature touches and updates it all at once. The part nobody mentions, it generates artifacts, task lists, implementation plans, screenshots, so you can verify exactly what Gemini did at every step. You're not guessing. You can see its reasoning. It runs multiple agents in parallel through an agent manager. Different parts of your project get tackled at the same time, and you're not locked into one model. It supports Gemini 3 Pro, Claude Sonnet, and Claude Opus, depending on what the task needs. All of this runs directly in your browser at aistudio.google.com. Update 2, one-click Firebase backend. This is the update that actually solves the hardest part of building anything real. Every app needs 3 things behind it: somewhere to store data, a way to log users in, and infrastructure to keep it running. Developers call this the backend. Setting it up normally takes hours, even for experienced developers. The Antigravity agent now detects on its own whether your app needs those things based on what you described. If it does, it asks you to enable Firebase. You click one button. What happens when you click Cloud Firestore gets provisioned as your database. Firebase authentication enables Google sign-in. Both get wired directly into your app's code. Your app stores data. Your app remembers users. You touched 0 lines of backend code. Enterprise-grade infrastructure. One click, no configuration. Quick thing before we move on, if you want the frameworks for turning tools like these into actual business workflows. Not just demos, that's exactly what we work through inside AI Space. 100 people in there right now. Real use cases, real implementations. Link in the description. Update 3, Stitch. And the feature almost no one is talking about. Google Labs updated Stitch on March 18th. The headline is that it's an AI design tool. Describe a UI. It builds high-fidelity mockups, not rough wireframes. Drop in images, screenshots, reference code, anything on the canvas. It generates up to 5 interconnected screens at once with a consistent design system across all of them. Same fonts, same colors, same component rules throughout. There's a voice canvas. You talk to your design. Show me this in 3 color palettes. It updates in real time and asks clarifying questions if your intent is ambiguous. But here's what almost no one is saying. Stitch now has an MCP server built in for Claude Code and Cursor. If you're already using an AI coding assistant, Stitch can talk to it directly. You design in Stitch. It hands the full design system straight to your coding agent. No manual export, no translating between tools. The design pipeline and the build pipeline are now connected. There's also design.md, a file that stores your entire design system in a format both AI tools and developers can read. You can pull a design system from any URL. Your branding travels automatically across every project. Free at stitch.with google.com. Update 4, Gemini API Maps grounding. This one is for anyone building on top of Gemini or integrating it into workflows. Google dropped new Gemini API updates in mid-March 2026. The one that matters most for real-world utility is Maps grounding for the Gemini 3 model. What this actually means, your Gemini-powered app can now pull real geographic data from Google Maps and ground its responses in actual location context. Not simulated, not approximate, real-world data in real time. That's the line between an AI app that feels like a demo and one that's actually useful in a workflow. Location-aware recommendations, live logistics tools, anything that needs to know where something actually is, That just became an API call. Update 5. Kaggle Community Hackathons. Kaggle is Google's platform for AI competitions. The NFL has used it to create new player statistics and inform safety rule changes. OpenAI used it to red team their first open access model. Google's own Gemini hackathons combined for nearly $1 million in prizes. That same infrastructure just became available to anyone. You can now host your own global AI competition for free, full infrastructure, data hosting, interactive notebooks, discussion forums, project galleries, judge management, support for multiple competition tracks, prize pools up to $10,000. Individual, school, small team. It doesn't matter. The non-obvious use case for business owners, instead of posting a job listing and hoping someone shows up, you post a challenge and see who actually solves it. The work is the interview. Kaggle.com/c/about/community-hackathons. Here's the bigger picture. A year ago, building a full stack app with a database, authentication and real-time features required a team, a developer, a designer, someone who knows backend infrastructure. Today, one person with a clear idea and a browser tab can get surprisingly close to that in an afternoon. That doesn't mean technical skills stop mattering. It means the bar for turning an idea into something real and testable has dropped significantly. And the people who understand these tools become the ones who can move fast in any room. Here's where to start right now. Go to aistudio.google.com/apps, open build mode, and describe what you want to create. No coding knowledge needed. Then go to stitch.withgoogle.com and drop in a reference screenshot and see how it interprets your style. And if you're not just watching, but actually building, AI Space is where I share the exact workflows I use, the prompts that work, and the mistakes worth skipping. 100 people in there right now. Links in the description. See you in the next one.